I'm Dennis Kreider, Senior Vice President for Branding and Communication. And what you're about to see in this video clip is a behind the scenes of how we go about making our PSAs. This is actually the 6th year that we've done these PSAs, and hopefully give you some insight to the strategy behind why we do the PSAs. When you look back to campaign 1 through 6, there is a common denominator. That is the student athlete, may it be his or her voice, but it's more important about the message of higher education. And hopefully you'll see through the creative process how that message comes out.
We're here in downtown Los Angeles shooting the shoe spot, and we have a whole crew of people that are working down this way to make this a high quality spot. And we've got a lot of carryover talent from previous years, in particular our director Pam Thomas and our lead account person from Y&R, who is Paul Hastings.
All right, lock it up and let's roll sound. Rolling sound, quiet please. Marker.
And action.
In the past, we hired NCAA athletes, or former NCAA athletes. This is the first year because they wrote a funny story that we had the opportunity to hire actors. And, they wrote a really great script, and it makes sense, and it's sort of a different way to tell the student-athlete story. So it's great, it's fun. And action? Well, I do love the idea for the spot, which involves a misdirect, which means that the viewer will see it and maybe not know what the commercial's for. And I think what our agency, Y&R, has done really successfully is created a story where you think you're watching an ad agency present to an athlete some sneakers. And it's kind of set up like you might imagine it. They're using language that you might imagine they would use, and you fully believe that and think that that's what you're watching. And I love that. And then the fact that when he's revealing wingtips and you understand that this is a student athlete who's going to go beyond athleticism and use his education in another way, that's sort of what the NCAA spots are all about.
My actors are all done.
Let's give a hand to the actors.
Today is the second day of our production, and we are shooting a trading card spot where we're going to have two young boys playing out what it's like to trade cards, but in this instance it will be trading cards about NCAA students and athletes instead of the traditional athletic trading card.
We got excited about this, and when we shared it with the branding group at the association, I think it's why we got excited about both spots. The shoe spot is a take on adults sort of interacting and playing off some realism that exists in the world, and we wanted to juxtapose that emotion with something that was a little bit more almost sentimental and nostalgic. So we thought the trading cards, and what it is, it's a story of just two kids. And I know I personally, as a young guy, would ride my bike to the corner store and I would get my trading cards every week when the new Topps cards came out, because I just couldn't wait to see what I got. And again, it was all about the professional athlete. We thought there's another great idea for us. Maybe we can sort of turn that a little bit and say, hey, let's do a whole spot about kids coming, riding their bikes, picking up the trading cards, but indeed, when it's revealed the trading cards are them looking at collecting cards for student athletes who didn't go pro in sports but actually went pro in something else, like an architect or an artist. So it was just a fun twist on taking a very real situation and turning it into something that when you see it, it's like, yeah, that's actually sort of clever and sweet, but at the same time I think it makes a really strong point of what we should be valuing as an association, what we do value association, but also what we should value as a culture as a whole.
It is now 5:45 Pacific time, and we are done. We're done for the day, and we're done for the weekend. So another campaign shoot is under our belts. So what happens from here is that all the film that was shot is going to be sent to an edit house, and I'll return to San Francisco in about 2.5 weeks to take a look at some rough cuts before the agency comes back and presents the final version to us in early December. You've now seen what goes into the making of our annual campaign. What we hope to accomplish is a better understanding of not only what our organization does on a competitive field and what our student athletes go through in the athletic environment, but also what they are experiencing in a higher educational setting and what they are learning in a way that will prepare them for life.